Hi there, my name is Wafflestheasianyenbear, and as you can probably tell, I am no longer sick, which is just wonderful, because it happened Wednesday night yesterday, and I had to go to work this morning at 5 in the morning, and it was such a relief, because I started to feel clear late Wednesday night, and I was like, yes, I'm not going to go in tomorrow. I'm not going to have to make coffees while having snot run out of my nose. It would have just been disgusting. It would have been awful. The customers wouldn't have liked it. My bosses wouldn't have liked it. And it would have been a horrible second day to show up and have to deal with all of that. So thankfully, I am no longer sick and it made for a fantastic day. But I can also go ahead and start recording all the videos for this weekend as well as some of the videos for the beginning of the week on next week. So I have Monday's video and all of that taken care of. But just because I'm not going to be around that much this weekend. Anyways, all that set aside, we are here today for a Pokemon Sun and Moon Showdown battle in the RU tier using the team that we made on Monday. And if you missed that video, I'll go ahead and I'll put it on the end card, end screen. I don't know what they're called. I started putting them on the videos on Wednesday's battle video. You may have noticed that if you watched that. But I'll go ahead and I'll leave the link to the Meet the Squad video where you can go ahead and check out what we built and why we built it, and then you can go ahead and have a better idea of why I'm making the plays that I am. But today we are facing Me Person 111 Star, who's got a Cresselia, a Charizard, a Flygon, a Heracross, Rhydon, and Jolteon, and number one thing I see is I need rocks. There's a Charizard here, there's a Heracross, and yes, he could have Defog on the Flygon. But if he's going for Defog on the Flygon, that's one turn where he's not Dragon Dancing and getting ready to sweep me. Because Flygon scares me, man. Now that it has Dragon Dance, it's just scary. It really is. So I kind of also don't expect him to have Defog, but maybe it does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. He's got a Charizard, but if he's the Dragon Dance sweeper, I don't expect him to have Defog. So it would be a nice relief if I forced him to do that. But I can see maybe the lead would be Jolteon, Rhydon, or Flygon if he wanted a U-turn. So I'm like, that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and go for Steelix. If he pulls a surprise and leads with Charizard like the last guy did, I can just go ahead and Stone Edge and hope it doesn't miss with Steelix. And if it does, then we have to work around that, but that's fine. He ends up going for the Rhydon, and I go, okay, that's fine. We'll just exchange rocks here. I think he actually switches out predicting this and goes into Flygon, but not before insulting Slate Wilson by saying it is the worst pun he's ever seen, and that just hurts my heart. Because Slate Wilson, you can't just disrespect him like that. He is a giant golden metal steak, and he has feelings. But I go ahead, I go for the Stealth Rock, and I'm like, okay, this thing's probably going to defog. That's a free turn for me to just go into the Blastoise. If he doesn't, and he goes for the Dragon Dance, I can still live one hit and go for Ice Beam again. So, I bring this in, he defogs. So I'm like, alright, well, I doubt this thing would stay in on an obvious Ice Beam, but I think, do I still go for it? I feel like I go for Scald, but I might have clicked Ice Beam. Let me see. Either way, nothing on this team really likes taking it. I do go for the Scald. Okay, cool. I made the right play. But Jolteon comes in, and it still takes 45%. I'm going to go to Steelix just to kind of predict it. If it wants to go for Thunderbolt, obviously I'm immune. If it goes for like Shadow Ball or anything else, Steelix can still take it. But he actually pulls a double, predicting me to go into that, and goes into Flygon. And I'm like, alright, I'm just going to go ahead and go for the rocks again. And he goes for Dragon Dance, because I was like, alright, I can take an Earthquake. That's fine. But he goes for the Dragon Dance, and I'm like, alright, well this thing's at +1. I have my Sturdy. I should try to do some damage to it. He goes for the Defog, prioritizing those rocks over trying to deal with Slate Wilson, which I think that might have been a mistake, honestly, but that's just because of, I guess, my irrational fear of Flygon. I think the way he was looking at the game, he was looking at Heracross as his win condition. I think Flygon could have been, but he goes for the Defog there. I go for Heavy Slam, and it does 52%. And he goes for the Earthquake, which does 88. So what he could have done here is, I don't know what his moveset was, but he could have gone for Earthquake instead of the Defog, done 88% to me. I do 52 to him. He takes a little bit of Life Orb damage. Then he kills me again with another Earthquake. And then, I guess then I would go to Blastoise and force him out. But if he had Roost at any point during that game, he could probably have set back up. But I'm guessing by the way he played, he probably didn't have it. I go for the Heavy Slam again, we kill it, and Slate Wilson stays alive above all else because screw you. That pun is perfect. But Heracross is going to come in, and this scares me because I'm like, okay, this thing could probably have Moxie. But I have nothing that wants to switch into a possibly banded Heracross, so I just have to let it die. Knockoff gets a crit, doesn't really matter. I think Knockoff would have killed anyways. But he gets the Moxie up, and I'm like, alright, I'm going to need to go to Butterfree. Because as much as I would like to save Butterfree for later, because it can kill the Heracross, it can set up all over Cresselia, it can Giga Drain the Rhydon, I still have to go to Butterfree now, because this thing, I cannot let it MOXIE set up. So I go for the Sleep Powder, just in case he wanted to switch out. I think I honestly should have gone for Air Slash here, just to sort of kill it immediately. But he ended up wanting to stay in, just go for the knockoff, I guess because he knew he outsped me. Which is fine. I think Heracross naturally outspeeds me, so I couldn't really gather any information from that. But he knocks it off, I go for the Sleep Powder, and now Heracross is asleep, so that's cool. So I figured Low-Fat's probably going to die here. I'll go for Giga Drain just to get damage if I can, but he actually goes for a Heal Belt on the Jolteon to just wake up the Heracross. And I'm like, alright, I'll take the extra damage, I guess. And if Heracross wakes up, I'm going to have to find some way to deal with that, because Blastoise can't really do too much to it. Especially if it Moxies up, I do not want to give him Blastoise as just food, fodder. I do not want to let him feast on my team. So I'm thinking here, okay, if Heracross comes in and does shenanigans, I need to keep Hitmonlee around. Because Hitmonlee can endure that. If he wants to Swords Dance, that would be a really scary thing, but most Heracrosses I don't think carry Swords Dance, especially not a Moxie one. So I'm like, alright, I'll probably just endure and then maybe kill it with knockoff or reversal, whatever I have to do. But ultimately, at this point in the game, the Heracross is in the back of my mind. So, Jolteon kills itself with its own Life Orb damage, which is fantastic. Hadn't revealed that before then, so it was just a nice little surprise. But I go into Blastoise, because I look at his team and I'm like, okay, he goes to Charizard, he goes to Rhydon. Both things Blastoise deals with. Cresselia, I can wear it down with Dark Pulse, and if the Heracross comes in, I'll Scald it and do what I can and hope I get a burn, but I don't think it'd be likely. And then I'd have to deal with +1/+1, and then I'd have, or +1 Heracross, and then I'd have to go into Hitmonlee and pull that all early, and then hope Hitmonlee can sweep through the rest of the team, including the Cresselia, which would have been scary. But he goes for Calm Mind, and I'm like, really? He's Calm Mind, Cress? Okay. So this has to change my plans a little bit. I go to Hatsune, because I'm like, I have Bulk, I'm Assault Vest. Cresselia isn't necessarily that strong. If he's got Moonblast, let's say, he's going to have to set up a lot. So I can win a setup war here if I just go for the Charge Beam. With my Assault Vest, yes, he has a special defense increase, but I have just such good natural special defense. You see that, it does 24% as a crit, but he gets the special defense drop, and I'm like, okay. Alright, well, it's probably going to start doing 24%. I can still go ahead and Charge Beam. I get a crit, which is nice. The crits don't really matter to me. It's the special defense drop here, and then the following special attack drops from the Moonblast. So he gets the special attack drop here, and I'm like, alright. Well, I'm not going to be able to win this now. I'm just going to go ahead. I'll go for Shadow Ball. Maybe wear this down to the point that I can knock off with Hitmonlee and kill that. Or if it has to go for Moonlight, I can at least get that information. But he goes for the Moonblast again and gets another special attack drop. So I'm just like, really? Really? Alright, whatever. I go for the Shadow Ball. Does 25% here. Not really doing all that much. And he's just going to go ahead. Moonblast is going to kill me. And then I think now I bring in the Hitmonlee. And knock off. It'll be good to knock off any item here. Oh. Gosh, I'm getting a little nasally. I'm not sick, I promise you guys. But I'm going to knock off the Crest. It'll kill it here if he wants to stay in. If he wants to switch out, he's losing his boost, which is great. And then the Heracross can kind of come in. Or the Charizard. I think the Charizard actually comes in. Yeah, it does. Okay. So here, I don't want to risk dealing with Air Slash stuff. I want to keep Hitmonlee in the back, especially if I have to deal with that Heracross. So I just go to Dr. Goom. I know I can take any hit. It goes for the Air Slash, misses. I think that does like 10 to 15%, so I don't think that was really that big of a deal. But I go for the Ice Beam just in case, because it does hit Charizard neutrally, and if I can wear that down to a point where Draco kills, that's great. But he actually brings in the Rhydon. That's kind of why I wanted to go for the Ice Beam, just in case, because I've revealed Thunderbolt at this point, I think. But I go for the Ice Beam now, does kill the Rhydon, and then another one kills it, so it's great. It's great that we got that prediction right. I was really just trying to go for the safe middle ground play then. Here, I have to kind of, I sort of resign myself to letting Dr. Goom die to close combat. Because at this point, my win condition is again Hitmonlee if Heracross gets set up. But because I didn't, and I guess this is where that Air Slash miss kind of matters. Because I didn't take that, close combat is not able to kill me. And I'm just able to OHKO that thing with a flamethrower. And again, I don't know the specific calcs on the Air Slash, but if it did about 15%, I think it could have mattered there, but again, I still had the Hitmonlee in the back, so I don't think it changed the outcome. But Charizard comes in here, and I'm like, Thunderbolt, that's fine. Air Slash, we see crits, so again, I can't really tell if it would have killed me anyways, but the crit does not matter that much. But I figured just in case of any shenanigans, if it's Bright Powder, Charizard, anything like that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go for Scald here. And we can see, like, okay, Air Slash, his plan is just to try to flinch me down. I do 88%, and I know that 2 Scald is going to kill. He can't Roost because I'm going to get a free Scald off if he does it. But he goes for the Air Slash here, and I'm like, alright, that's fine, I guess. 30% chance. I get one more chance to do it with Blastoise. And he gets the second flinch. So I'm like, okay, Arm Cannons, I guess you're just gonna die. Sorry, dude. Sorry. I just have to resign you to death now. But I have Hitmonlee again, so it's not like I was going in and I was like, Blastoise is my only way to win, and the Air Slash flinchers just completely ruined it. No. I had a backup plan. Springtrap was my backup plan. It was sort of, from the point that I saw Heracross was Moxie, Springtrap I'm saving for that Heracross, and the fact that Heracross died made it like, okay, Springtrap, I don't need to save it as much anymore, I can endure here and then kill Charizard. But really just, I was trying to keep that in mind because Springtrap was my only real way of dealing with a setup Heracross, and while it didn't really come into play here, I think it's important for you guys to sort of know that that was going through my mind, because that's something that was really important and really did affect the way I played in that. He did say GG, so I feel a little bit bad. I put spectators off, but after he started insulting me with the pun, I put spectators off, because I saw that and I'm like, really? Really? So I feel a little bit bad now that I didn't say GG, but the point with Springtrap was just, I want to make sure you guys know that was sort of my plan throughout this game. I wanted to make sure that I had something set up for that, and I think it's really important to do that in your games, to identify what your opponent's threats are against you, not just what your threats are against them, because it's important to know your win condition, but it's also important to know your opponent so you can play around that. And I think when I was looking at it, I'm like, Flygon or Heracross, and the way he played it with Defog, it showed me that he wanted to win with Heracross, so that's why I really played the way I did around the Heracross, and we ended up winning with 1% on Springtrap, a 1v1 scenario, Charizard versus Hitmonlee, and it was just, I think that was a pretty great game, so that's the one I decided to show you guys today, and I hope you all enjoyed that. I will see you Sunday with the Rage Quit video that you guys wanted me to put together. I have that all recorded and ready for you guys, so that'll be fun. But I'll see you guys then, and then I'll see you Monday with another Meet the Squad video. That being said, hope you have a good day. Good week, good life. Now, stay for the end cards. Goodbye.